Yeah, hi guys. Now we are going to see about the contacts list React app. So the project is simple. The problem statement given to us is that we need to create a contact list app to manage our contacts. We have been given a bunch of instructions over here, which I followed. We have followed, and these are the features which the project document mandates us to follow. So let's see the requirements for the project. So fetch and show users from the API. They have provided an API which is a dummy JSON data generator actually. So from there we need to fetch and show the users. That's our first point. And next we need to be able to make a post request for adding the contact to the above URL. And they've also mandated that this won't be actually modifying the server, but just a manipulation thing where we're going to save it locally in our state. So the next features which are required are to update a contact, which is a put request, and deleting a contact, which is a delete request, both of which are also specified as dummy calls. So let's get into the code and we'll discuss along the way. So this is the main app.js and app.css. These are the only two files which are currently in our project, where we have managed to squeeze in all the functionalities which are required by the SRS. So let's see. So basically, I'll start from here. So we have gotten the use effect and use take hooks, and we have also got some icons and Axios. We have used Axios for making the call. We could have also used fetch thing, but Axios was a better option, I believe. So we have gotten three states over here. One will be for users, which will be getting, which will be holding all the user data which we require. Contact display and update contact are simply nothing but they are different conditions which we are going to conditionally help us conditionally render the output screens. So we have a form data and update data. The form data will be holding the new contact data, and the update data will be holding our update data, for both of which we have set up our use states. So proceeding further, handle delete click. I'll just show you where this function is called at later stage, but this function is nothing but we are going to give a delete command over here, and we are going to delete that particular ID of the user by making this API call. API call or whatever we can call it. So we are going to just console.log user successfully deleted, just for our understanding that and we are also going to print the response status, which is going to be in this case 200 when the user is going to be successfully deleted. And after deleting, we are going to just filter out that particular ID and give that user, because according to the guide provided in the JSON folder, we will not be getting any response apart from the deleted statement which are included over here. And next is update click. This is going to get used for our update function. So we have grabbed all the details of the user which we are going to edit, and we are going to display it in our front end or the form, I can say it, so that the user can actually see what they're going to edit and verify that. So that is the main purpose. And you can also see over here set contact display set as false. The set contact is nothing but I've given a table, defined a table like structure that should be hidden when we go to this form. Whereas the set update contact is the form I'm talking about, which should be visible. So I've set it to its visibility to true. For that is the purpose we have taken that two state which I have discussed earlier. Next is handle input change. This is to add the input data to the form elements. We have written the set form elements, and for company the structure is a little different, so that I have added a bunch of code over here to accommodate that into our coding. So next is the handle update change. This is very much similar to the input change. Input change used for the new contact form which I have defined it as a new contact form, where this part of code, this handle input change code, is going to help us to add a new contact into our program, whereas the handle update change, as the name suggests itself, is going to help us update the contacts. A similar structure is followed over here and there. Next is a handle new contact click. So as the name already suggests, we are going to handle the new contact over here. So once we are getting into this, we are going to set the contact display to false and update contact to false, because we are going to add a new contact, and as I've been telling, we are going to show a new form, so that this both will be set, the visibility will be set to hidden. Next we got a form data over here. Okay, this is the same form data. We are just going to clear the form data after we have set the new contact, so that we can add another contact. Nothing fancy over here. So next is a handle save click. This is to save our form data and pass it to the API to make the call. So that's exactly what we've done over here. We are passing a post request to add the new user, We have given the all the form data. This form data contains all the necessary information which we are going to pass to this particular API. So we have given a header and response, and then we are going to set the users. So users will be actually be an array, so we'll be appending each and everything over here. So I remember like 10 such elements will be coming over here, so that 10 rows will be there if I'm not wrong. So if anything error occurs, we have given a catch statement over here that will catch the error, and the same visibility and form setting we have done over here for our ease of access. Next, update click function. This is where we are going to go to the API to make the call for update. Similarly, what we saw with the new contact form, here update data will be containing all the necessary updated text or whatever data we have, will be passing to this particular API to make the call. So similarly, now that after the response, we are going to just change and manipulate what the single user, like as I will show you in a later stage shortly. So handle update is what means we are going to take an particular user and we are going to update the details of it. So to handle the details, we are not going to modify other 9 such entries or 10 such entries. So that 9 or 10 such entries are first shallow copied over here, and then we'll modify that particular ID which is going to match, for which we have given our condition over here. So that particular user ID should match with the provided ID over here. So the ID is mapped like for whichever particular contact we are clicking, that ID will be available over here. So that way we will match and update that particular user, and later we will set the visibilities like once again, and if anything error occurs, we will catch that error. We have given a use effect to capture all the data. So this is done to get all the data at initial stage. So all the 10 entries will be fetched over here. So next comes our original code in the front end, which we are going to help us to display the data. So nothing fancy over here. As I told earlier, they have just set some states over here so that we can manipulate the visibility of it, and we have just given a title and a button to add a new contact. Then the display contact, we have provided a table structure where we have I think 6 if I'm not wrong, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7 headers, along which we will be inputting the data, setting the data for which and displaying it as a table structure. So I have mapped the users to get grab each one single user and provide all their data over here. So the key will be the user.id, so that React exactly knows which to render and what to render at specific time. We have also given a nullish code scaling over here, so that if the data is not available, it will not break the code. It's done as a preventive measure over here. So next, for handle update and handle delete, we have got two functions over here under the actions. I'll show you the output shortly so that you will understand at a much better rate. So once this is done, this is for the main contact page, or we can call it as home screen. The next is we have defined a new contact form. So where we'll be having a form to add the new contact over here, and in a similar fashion, the same thing, but for update contact is also given. But the difference is that the new contact form will be entirely blank, so that we can add data. Whereas in the update, excuse me, in update contact, we'll be having all the data pre-filled, so that we can just edit whatever we want and pass on the data, so that it will get updated. So this code is actually available on the GitHub. I have uploaded it as the specified in the functional requirement sheet. So this is our project. I have deployed it to Netlify. So let's just see. So basically we are already making a call to grab all the 10 entries. Yes, we are already grabbed all the 10 entries and displaying the table structure. So let's add a new contact over here. Once you click a new contact, this beautiful form loads, and let's just fill some data over here. Let's say this thing over here. So once we click on save, this particular data will be added over here. The 11th entry which we have added is given over here. So for delete means if we want to delete this, if we click delete, it automatically deletes, and we can delete anything we want. Like I'll delete 2 and number 4 I'll also delete. So as specified in the sheet, delete functionality works. So next we'll go to the update functionality. Let's click on update. So update means we are getting all the data over here as I mentioned earlier. So let's change the company name. Let's change it to head, and let's modify the phone number also, and let's modify the name also. So once I click on update, that particular contact will now get updated. You see, whatever we have done, it gets updated. So this is the project, guys, what I've done. Thank you.